Hey there, it's Susan Pierce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. So a short bit ago on the morning accountability call for Bright Lifers, Shawna Murph raised her hand and she told me the following. She said, Susan, I have a strange non-scale victory that I have a question about. And I said, what a provocative thing to say. A strange non-scale victory. Do you know the term non-scale victory? NSV. It's in what we call in bright line eating, all these things that are amazing and fabulous that happen because of our bright line eating journey that are not about the weight, beyond the weight, right? Beyond the scale, beyond the weight. So here's what she told me. She said her brother, Mark Keel, had started doing bright line eating, and he called her and said, Shawna, the weirdest thing has happened. I scratched my head, he's bald, I scratched my head and I drew blood. And I noticed, oh my goodness, I'm not biting my nails anymore. He said, I've stopped biting my nails since bright line eating. And he said, I didn't even notice that I stopped. And she said, Mark, me too. I don't bite my nails anymore since doing bright line eating. And I didn't even put in effort to stop. Now, Mark and Shawna had both bit their fingernails to the nub since childhood, like forever and ever and ever and ever again, just bit their nails. And Shawna, after that, went to a bright line eating meetup group. And she was talking to some other people about this, and they said, me too. I stopped biting my nails, and I didn't even try since starting bright line eating. And Shawna brought this to me, and she said, Susan, have you heard of this? Is there some reason for this? Why are we not biting our nails anymore? And I said the truth, which is, I don't know. I don't know. And we pondered it on the call. And I said, well, maybe it has to do with the fact that I encourage people to stop putting things in their mouth in general. Like one of the reasons behind no gum chewing, no mints, no diet soda, beyond the fact that the artificial sweeteners are not healthy and they're addictive, is, I encourage people to stop putting things in their mouth to change the way they feel. So we thought, okay, well, maybe there's that. And then I thought, well, maybe it has something to do with just a calming of the nervous system in general. And Shawna said, yeah, I just feel less itchy in general. So that was as far as we got. And then we hung up the phone and I started thinking about it more and more and more and more. And my mind went back to a study that I read about in Roy Baumeister's book, Willpower. He describes how after the famous Radish Experiment in 1998, which is the study where basically researchers realized that if they depleted someone's willpower with one method, suddenly they had no willpower left for other tasks. And it's called the Radish Experiment because the control group was asked to resist eating radishes, which was not hard for them. So it's called the Radish Experiment. The other condition was asked to resist eating freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. That was hard. Those people's willpower got depleted. So after that study in 1998, Roy Baumeister describes how researchers went on an exhaustive search to see if they could figure out ways to strengthen people's willpower. And it turns out you can. And the way you do it is by having them over a period of time, like 2 weeks is enough, having them deliberately pay attention all throughout the day, pay attention on exerting effort to change a habitual behavior. Like, for example, straightening your posture or writing with the non-dominant hand, something like that. And if you exert effort all through the day to change an existing habit or behavior, it strengthens your willpower muscle. And researchers found that then it wasn't that people's initial willpower got stronger. It was that their willpower became more resistant to depletion, with the happy unintended consequence that they had more self-control available for all sorts of other things in their lives. What happened was they did their laundry more often. They drank less alcohol. They stopped smoking cigarettes. They ate healthier, and so on, just from the act of exerting consistent impulse control. And so after I got off the phone with Shawna, I thought, you know what? I think that's the reason. Bright line eating is the equivalent of spending effort at changing a habitual behavior all throughout the day, day after day after day, with the happy, unintended side consequence that lots of people seem to be stopping biting their nails because their brains are becoming more resistant to willpower depletion, freeing up impulse control for other things. So, just saying, if you happen to notice that you're washing your socks more often and, you know, you've got extra impulse control for other types of things, yay for bright line eating. Shawna, I just wanted you to know, and Mark, that I thought of a better answer to your question. And so I thought I'd put it in the weekly vlog. I'll see you next week.